Como é que é, pessoal? Bem-vindos novamente ao Undergrounds Voice. Hoje o meu convidado é o Barney, vocalista dos grandes Napalm Death. Nice to meet you. Thank you for coming. It's a huge honor to meet you and to receive you at Undergrounds Voice. Well, some months ago you were in Portugal. You had a gig in Moita Metal Fest. What do you remember about that night?
You know what, I must admit I can't remember very much about it, you know. I sort of remember a couple of things, but not really, you know. Yeah, my memory's terrible sometimes. It's nothing. I mean, remind me who else is playing on the festival?
Oh, a lot of bands. Let me see if I can remember. Moita Metal Fest, I don't remember really.
Yeah, I don't really remember. I mean, I know it was I remember it was a good gig as far as I know, because it was just one that we flew in for as far as I remember.
Yeah.
But I don't really remember much about it, I must be honest. You know.
It was in Moita.
So many different. Oh yeah, that was the one. It was in that small kind of bowl.
Yeah,
that was
that's it.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good actually. We got there quite late, and the promoters were very, very good actually. Very, very very good people. You know, they really looked after us really well. And yeah, it was good concert. I remember it. I do remember it now. Yeah, I can't remember the other bands that were on, but I do remember. I think it was mainly Portuguese bands.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like not really any.
I think just Napalm Death and one more.
Yeah.
As I can remember.
I don't remember who the other band was. Yeah, that really would be stretching it. You know, so.
Well, you've finally come back. Today you're playing Oporto and tomorrow in Lisbon.
Sure.
What can you expect about that gigs?
Yeah, I mean, it's really funny because we were speaking amongst ourselves, and I don't remember playing Porto in recent times, but apparently we did.
Long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, first time we came over, which was 91, I think, to Portugal. But I don't really remember much. I certainly don't remember much about that one, you know. But it's not going to. We treat everywhere the same, you know. So it's in a good way, you know. So yeah, it'll be as vibrant as we can make it, you know.
Well, Napalm Death will release a special album next year. What can you expect about that?
You talk about the compilation album.
Yeah, I'm releasing songs.
Yeah, basically, it's you know, I'm always reluctant with compilation albums because I don't want to give people stuff they've already got, because that's like a rip-off, really, you know.
Yeah.
So, but actually, all the tracks that are on there were special tracks, you know.
Yeah.
Some of them were on releases, but some of them you will never find anywhere, you know. So, unless you bought, for example, there's a track on there by a band called Sacrilege, which only came out on a compilation by actually Roger from Agnostic Front. It was his thing. So it's nowhere else, that track. So there is a couple of things on there that are absolutely very, very hard to find, you know.
Yeah.
Unless of course, you look on YouTube, you know, in which case you can find them.
It's easier.
Sure. But, you know, so it's there, you know. And so, yeah, it's a compilation of extra stuff from the Code is Red onwards, you know, basically the Century Media period, because it's a Century Media release. So, I think there's enough in there for people to be happy with, you know, in terms of fresh stuff.
Well, in my first audition of the latest album, I think, I have to be honest, I think, what the fuck is that? But I think
the Apex.
The Apex.
Yeah.
But I think in 90% of the Napalm Death albums, I think that it's a good thing, because everything is so loud, so fast, so aggressive.
Yeah.
It's always surprising.
But there are moments where it's not, you know, and those are the surprising parts, I think, you know, because you have to remember is that Napalm is not one thing or two things.
That's true. Yeah.
It is not. I mean, Napalm all the time gets classified as a death metal band, which is simply not the case, you know. Yeah, sure, the elements are in the music, no question, you know, but that's only one part, you know, of stuff that's, including some stuff that's not even metal, or not even hardcore punk, actually, you know, which is the other big side of Napalm. So there are many different things in there. So I think you can't expect to have people not go, what the fuck is that, basically, because that's actually quite a good thing in my book.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
It was my next question. Napalm Death is not just a grindcore band or death metal band or a punk band. It's everything that's extreme.
Everything mixed in, taken to taken to the far degrees.
Yeah.
You know.
It's extreme. It's good.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back in time. In 1989, you were the vocalist of Benediction.
Yeah.
And you joined Napalm Death. You were his roadie, right?
Well, yes. I mean, roadie in the loosest sense, really, just turning up and drinking beer and pretending to carry a few things around. That was about the limit of my roadie experience, you know. So, yeah, very loosely speaking. But, yeah, I mean, I was friends just with the guys. Yeah. That was the main thing, really, with the Napalm guys. So, but, yeah, Benediction was fun, no question. But, you know, here's the thing, and this is meant with all due respect, is that the death metal thing was never quite enough for me.
Yeah.
You know, sure, I never anticipated joining Napalm Death, but when that was a possibility, I understood that it was a far more expansive experience, you know, in being in Napalm. So that was good, you know, creatively, that was quite fulfilling, you know.
You were a huge fan of Napalm Death.
Absolutely, it was my favourite band, you know. So, cool. Yeah, I mean, I grew up with certainly heavy rock and metal in my very young days, but later on, hardcore and punk became really important. And like that was the scene I grew up in my mid to late teens, the hardcore punk scene, which to me was very important for my life. Without that, my life wouldn't be what it is. And so Napalm really was part of that before it was anything else, you know. So
no doubt.
So it was a natural thing for me, a natural flow, you know.
Cool. Well, Napalm Death is a legendary band. You released a lot of albums, compilations. You played in the biggest festivals in the world, shows worldwide. After all these years, what keeps you motivated to do it?
Well, I mean, there's no real thing you can pin down. It's just still having the motivation to do it. You could quite easily not have the motivation to do it. That's the point, you know. But hopefully we can still make very challenging albums. What the fuck kind of albums, actually. And still play very good gigs. You know, very sort of vibrant and very, you know, intense gigs. And I mean, those being the two elements, really. Yeah. Still put a lot of ideas on the table, you know. And we'll continue. You know, there's no feeling between us at the moment that the band is, it's getting on, it's too old now, the band, and, you know. And I think sometimes music falls into a trap of, because a band has been going for a long time, people think, it's not as powerful as it used to be. And bands can be powerful in many different ways, you know. It's not as powerful as it used to be. Hopefully Napalm never feels like that, you know, that it's a shadow of its former self. Hopefully it continues to be, you know.
That's cool. Yeah. Well, you're someone with strong opinions about humanity, religions, all the controversial themes. Comparing today with, for example, 10 years ago, do you think we're a better place?
Well, here's the thing, though. Whenever should it be controversial to talk about these things?
That's true.
These are the basis of being a human being. You know, if you cannot challenge the very core of humanity and being a human being, then what the fuck have we got left? What else can we talk about after that? You know, so I would suggest they are not controversial. Yeah, of course, the reaction to them sometimes can be bewildering, you know, in that you talk about very fundamental things and people, mustn't speak about that. Why not, you know? Yeah. Why ever could you not speak about these things? So, I mean, to me, it's just things that you should be speaking about. It's very natural. It's as much the same way as having a conversation about how's the weather today. It's the same thing, you know, it's the fundamentals of life, you know. So I mean, I will continue to do that, you know, and it will take many different forms, you know, so it is as it is, you know.
Yeah. Well, finally, thank you so much for being here. Huge honor for me to meet you, really. Last words for the Portuguese fan, the Underground's Voice viewers.
Oh well, I mean, it's always the same fucking answer, to be honest. But generally, thanks for your support. Like Portugal has always supported us really well, and it of course it's. In terms of playing gigs in Portugal, it's not a huge country, so sometimes it can be tricky for bands, but the support in Portugal for Napalm has always been very, very vibrant, and people have always showed up in numbers, so I mean, obviously we appreciate that, cool. Definitely, so it's fantastic.
Thank you so much.
No worries, thank you.
Good luck for Aston Villa too.
Oh no, let's not speak about that. Yeah.
Malta, Barney na Underground's Voice, nós voltamos em breve. Fiquem bem.